Hi, welcome to the show. First, I'm going to start with some speaker wisdom. Listen, if you're watching the show, chances are you want to improve your public speaking skills. But the reality is that we're not getting older. Every single day that goes by, we get older and more mature. And for me, I remember many times in my life when I wanted to do something and I didn't do it. And then years went by and I kicked myself in the shins because I say to myself, if only I had started 5 years ago, I'd be so much farther now. And I see that pattern in a lot of people that I meet who know that they should be speaking. They may have a new business or they want to promote themselves more. They know they should be doing this. They know that speaking is the key to really advancing their career in many different ways. But they hold it off. Oh, maybe next time, maybe this summer, maybe, after things get better, when, I have a different business, when I have more time. Every single day that they wait, time is passing by when they could be spending that time really working on and perfecting their craft. Listen, I've been public speaking for over 20 years, and this is one thing that I'm so glad I stuck with, and I started a long time ago, and I didn't give up on. Because for me, I would be thinking the same thing. Wow, I wish I would have started a long time ago. And I started when I was in a place of desperation. I couldn't speak. I couldn't communicate. I was very shy, insecure, and I really think I was valuable for to be heard, and didn't think that anyone wanted to hear my message or anything that I had to say. And so that's what led me into public speaking, is because I really knew that I needed to do it. So don't quit. I mean, don't procrastinate and start somewhere. You see, there's a lot of things that come in our lives and they are presented to us because they're there for a reason. There's a reason that they present themselves to us. Not everything, every exciting thing you should do. There's certain things that you know that your intuition tells you that you should be doing that you put off. And so I encourage you not to put this off, public speaking, because it can advance and transform your life in so many different ways, like it has done for me. And that kind of leads us to today's topic, which is effective storytelling techniques. Now, storytelling techniques, or having a good story, is essential to your speaking business, really to help you to not only set yourself apart from other speakers, which you want to do because the industry can get a little crowded, or is crowded, but your story is what's going to really allow you to connect on a greater scale with that audience, with the heart. So it's important to have a few stories in your back pocket. When you are able to create an effective story, it's going to allow you to build trust. It's going to allow you to connect with your audience on a deeper level, not just up there speaking, not just talking. Going to allow you to build rapport and also make your message more memorable when you have a story. A lot of people don't remember all the details and all the points and tips that you give, but they will remember your story. So your story is extremely important, and I suggest that you really spend some time to really perfect it in a way that is engaging to your audience. We're going to talk about a lot of this in a few minutes, but your story can create your whole persona as a speaker. For instance, the one story that I tell a lot is my story of when I started public speaking in the first place. Remember, I said I started public speaking about 20 years ago. And at that time, I started a business. I wrote a variety of books. And I wanted to promote myself, my business. But when I started to do that, that's when I first started to experience fear when I was jumping outside of my comfort zone. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I was so scared. I would just, hang up the phone. If someone asked me to interview or someone asked me to do something to put myself out there, I just couldn't do it. I lost a lot of opportunities because of that. So I knew that I had to learn and master the art of public speaking because really my career and my life depended on it. And that's when I joined a Toastmasters organization, international organization. And I just went head first, bust past my fear, and I was beyond fearful. I was terrified to speak in front of people. In fact, the first time I spoke in front of an audience, I nearly passed out. Someone had to grab me. I couldn't get oxygen into my brain. And so, so I knew that I had to continue. I had to continue. So I kept coming back and kept coming back and kept coming back. And I learned and I grew and I got better and better and better and better and better. Years later, I was still terrified, but I was still doing it because I knew it was my destiny. And I knew that this was the key to transforming and improving and expanding my life. And so I know it's the same for you. So I ask you, don't hold off on this. Don't hold off on this. But the first thing that you should do is really work on your story. When I started public speaking, when I was public speaking more, I started, getting a little more confidence in it, getting a little better. And that's when I started mentoring other people and really doing it as a hobby. And it was fun and exciting to me. Then I took it to the next level and then the next level and the next level and the next level. And now here I am today, right? But you have to start somewhere. So don't procrastinate. If there's something you've been doing for a long time, expand that. That's a great way to start. But public speaking is going to be vital. Now, your story. I have a few stories in my back pocket, and you want to create a story based on the audience that you're going to speak to. For instance, if I'm speaking to more, business people, our sales group, I'll probably use my sales story that talks about how when I first started in sales, I couldn't sell a person a pen if they needed to write a note. Fast forward, I kind of incorporate my public speaking into it as well. But as a public speaker and learning how to communicate with people, I was able to sell $1.7 million in 15 days. All by learning the skill of public speaking and becoming a better communicator. So you want to wow your audience, right? That wows them, that connect with them, because they may be experiencing similar challenging situations in their career. And so that kind of connects us together. Now, another thing that may be useful for you if you are looking to incorporate, you should always incorporate a story within your talks, is to add a little humor. See ways that you can just add some light to your presentation. Now, I understand that some stories are very heartfelt, they're serious. You're talking about a serious topic, a detrimental topic, but find something a little light that you can add to it. Because when you're creating your narrative arc within your story, you want to, of course, start at a high point, right? So before for example, before I started public speaking, remember I told you I was having, I was feared, I couldn't jump outside of my comfort zone, I was shy, all of those things. But prior to that, I started a business. It's called Fab Marketing. I'm excited about my business. I wrote these books. I had all my branding together, my website. I was ready. That's my high point. That's the high point of the narrative arc. And then as I, needed to put myself out there, I didn't put myself out there, I wanted to, I knew that I had a problem. See how that kind of dips there, down. I had a problem. So I'll go into a little more detail about the different problems and challenges I experienced. However, as I started to learn and practice public speaking, I got better and better and better. See how the arc goes up again, right? The end of the arc. And that's when life becomes better. Opportunities started to arise. I started doing what I love. I was more free. Business started booming. Things started working in my favor. I'm happy. I'm helping people. I'm serving. I'm living out my destiny. See, that's the high point. So what I suggest that you don't do is just talk about the negative, all the awful things about your story, and create that narrative arc. And that takes a little practice to be able to do that. But if you do it over and over and over again, you're going to get better and better and better and better. That goes along with pretty much anything that you do. Practice makes perfect. So practice, practice, practice. Now, what are some ways that you can make sure that your story is engaging and dynamic? Because think about it, when you go on that stage and you share your message, you share that story, you want to connect with the people. You want them to feel it. You want them to feel as if they were there with you at that moment. You want them to feel the highs. You want them to feel the lows, all the dirt and grit and all the things that you had to do to get out of that. You want them to feel the climb of coming out of that situation. And you do that by using this descriptive and vivid words. So find words that can incorporate sights, sounds, smells, experiences within your presentation. That's what's going to really create a dynamic bond with your audience. And let them feel the experience, the journey that you're taking. I had a client who used a story of her, working at a 9 to 5, working in a 6x6 cubicle. The job was okay, but she knew that her life was made for more, and she really wanted to travel the world. One day she quit her job and she got her backpack, put her laptop in her backpack, and started traveling. And she's called the digital nomad. She travels everywhere. She talked about how she was in monsoons and traveled up, hiked up mountains and met different people in different places that she never experienced, and tried to learn languages. And she'd find different places with like no money at first to live. And she created these connections with all these people around the world that helped her along the way. And she found a way to incorporate the thing that she loved to do into her business. And her business started to boom. And then she started doing more of what she loved whenever she wants to do it. You see how she incorporated that? She did a lot better job than I'm doing right now because it's her story. But I felt the monsoon. I felt the experience. I just wanted to be there with her to experience all of these great places, all the places that she went and saw and was able to live. And so I thought that was amazing the way she did that. And so think about your story. How can you create it more visually and create that connection with your audience? And lastly, you want to invite your audience to your story. You can do this in a million different ways, but you want them to connect with you. Remember, when you're choosing your story, you're choosing a story that's going to resonate with that particular audience. So when you're choosing a story that resonates with that particular audience, they may have experienced something similar, like the sales story. Maybe I'm talking to a bunch of sales people who are struggling in that area of their career, and my story is going to connect with them. So I'm going to really talk about all the things that they experience, that I experience as well, and maybe ask them some questions. Maybe ask them to share, their experience. What that's also going to help you to do is to take note of more things that you can incorporate into your story that can make it even more compelling. And so use the audience, ask them to, give them the microphone, ask them to share a story in relation to yours that they experience. And then someone else, who does a great job with this, Tony Robbins, he always gets his audience involved. And so you can get your audience involved to stand, to share. Again, you're going to create a better bond and connection with them. That's another great tip. Now, today, we talked about a lot of things about effective storytelling. So I encourage you to think about 3 stories that you can use or incorporate into your presentations. Make those stories sweet and dynamic. Always have them in your back pocket to pull out whenever you need. Because realistically, if you want to create a longer presentation, you just add more stories. And so have these great stories, make them feel enticing, right? And then share your message and your stories with as many people as possible using the art and the skill of public speaking. But that ends today's episode. I thank you for being here. And I always want to leave with a just quick message of sending you much love and success. Until next week, same time, same place. Bye for now.
Are you a professional struggling to speak confidently in front of others? Do you have trouble giving presentations or leading teams? Are you finding it difficult to sell to clients? At Be Seen Beloved, we understand the challenges you face. That's why we're here to help. With our expert guidance and training, you'll gain the confidence you need to excel in your business and career. Whether you're looking to lead groups, speak to larger audiences, or train people in your corporation, we can help. Our unique approach will not only improve your business connections and increase your income, but it will also lead to a happier and more fulfilled life. So why wait? Take the first step towards success and visit us at www.beseenbeloved.com today.